This Jonathan Kay, about a year ago, called me from the National Post newspaper in Canada. He said, I promise it's not a hit piece. I just want to understand you. I want to come down to your office and hang out with you for a few days. And I said, no. I've seen your articles about 9/11 Truth. I don't want to be part of it. They just want to meet with me so they could claim they actually came and interviewed me. And it's the same thing. He wrote this article for Newsweek, Black Helicopters over Nashville. We'll give folks a close shot of this. And you get into it. It says, this worldview, modern-day prophets include Texas radio host Alex Jones's documentary, The Obama Deception, claims Obama candidacy was a plot by leaders of the New World Order to con the American people into accepting global slavery. Christian evangelist Pat Robertson and the right-hand strain of the aforementioned 9/11 Truth movement. As if we're Pat Robertson, who said Obama couldn't be opposed and was of God, and that we would accept socialism and it was good. Remember that clip from last year? According to the Dark Vision, America's 21st century traumas signal the coming of a great political cataclysm in which the false prophets such as Barack Obama will upend American sovereignty and render the country into godless one-world socialist dictatorship run by the United Nations from its offices in Manhattan. No, my film, The Obama Deception, that he actually links to, he links to its website, explains he's just a puppet front man and they want carbon taxes to fund them, which is what they openly announced, world government. I mean, I'm a kook because I listen to what Herman von Rompuy, the head of the EU, and Ban Ki-moon writes in the New York Times. And then there's another article here by David A. Graham, Know Your Conspiracies, a guide to today's trendiest, hippest, and least likely fringe beliefs. Number one, Barack Obama was not born in the U.S. Well, there's a lot of evidence he wasn't, and they're sure covering it up. But what about number two? Man-made global warming is a hoax. Anthropogenic global warming is a hoax. And they just go in to say, we're complete kooks. This is an unlikely, crazy conspiracy theory. No one believes this. Only the biggest kooks. When we have the UN's own internal documents and emails, and even now the UN has had to come out and say, okay, we've been cooling since 95. I mean, that is mainstream news today. In fact, I'm digging around in my stack. I showed it towards the start of the show. But no, just doesn't exist. Goldman Sachs intentionally created the economic crisis. Goldman Sachs, McClatchy newspapers did a 5-part series showing how they engineered it to destroy their competition and were betting against the housing, and they were telling the public get involved, and they're the ones in all the regulatory positions giving themselves the banker bailout money. Democrats' health plan will create death panels. It does have the government decide on rationing and telling doctors what they can do. I mean, the book written by Tom Daschle that the bill was based on says that. Barack Obama is a secret Muslim. Well, he was trained and raised in a Muslim school. You can't blame people when he is Barry Soetoro and all these other names. Sarah Palin is not the mother of her 1-year-old son, Trig. They just mix in some stupid stuff to make it bipartisan. Acorn is part of a liberal conspiracy to steal elections. They admittedly it's to buy people off. FEMA is establishing detention camps. And they go on to say Glenn Beck puts this out. No, he doesn't. Council on American Islamic Relations is trying to infiltrate Capitol Hill and spread jihad. Obama wants to conscript Americans into a civilian defense corps. I mean, he openly said that. Rahm Emanuel's on record. It's all in my film, Obama Deception, saying you'll be forced to do this in youth corps. That's in the new cybersecurity bill. I mean, here it is right here. The subsections listed with the youth corps. Then it says, number 11, Time Magazine wants to restrict the internet to licensed users. They did write an article calling for that, and they linked to Alex Jones' 2 websites. It says, well, there's a kernel of truth. We did write a story about Microsoft executive that wants it. Yeah, at the UN. Then 9/11 was an inside job. Look, we're out of time. Retransmission, jam-pack starts now. I'm going to go over this slowly tomorrow. A lot of big guests coming up this week. Please spread the word about the show and the free iPhone app.
Thank you for listening to GCN.
Tell everybody you know about the free iPhone app.
GCN.